Equity is local. It's deeply personal and it's local.
The concept of equity to me is the concept of empowerment to decide to live the life in the way that you want.
Equity is fundamentally looking at where everybody starts.
Addressing disparities and recognizing that a lot of populations and communities are underserved.
What I have learned about research and the communities that we work with has deepened my understanding of equity, how inequities affect not only the opportunities people have, but also the health outcomes, the academic outcomes.
The Center for Equity Promotion began in 1999, so we've been around for a while. We were founded by Dr. Charles Martinez at the Oregon Social Learning Center with a focus on taking the lessons learned from research and seeing what of these insights actually hold true for families that are headed by Latinx immigrants. What we realized was missing were really critical cultural assets, that there wasn't an articulation of common barriers and challenges as experienced by Latinx immigrant parents.
I think it's important to collect data from communities who are underrepresented or underserved, because being able to have concrete findings to address some of the concerns facing like communities like the Latino community is essential.
We moved to the University of Oregon in 2012, and we've expanded that to now focus on teachers, administrators, other key adults, to support them in providing the frameworks, the aligned expectations, the kinds of supports that all youth need to be able to fulfill their own promise.
I think those are really important pieces because that's kind of like the building block, kids getting their education, staying in school.
Making sure everyone feels comfortable in advocating for their kids, or going into a government office and being confident in their own abilities to advocate for themselves, and ensure that everyone has a fair shot at succeeding.
When I was feeling oppressed, when I was feeling racism, when I was feeling microaggressions, I didn't know what those things were. Now I can name it, I can understand it, I can identify it. And my passion started growing to teach about those things, because I knew that I was not the only one here living with that anxiety.
We hear their voices, we allow them to become stakeholders in our projects.
Instead of taking a top-down approach, we have more of a grassroots methodology when it comes to our research. We try to honor the perspectives of everyone who we work with and let them guide the type of interventions and work that we do.
Our research to practice, our implications for policy are all guided by an overarching belief and commitment to community-partnered research. We're all united in a deep belief in the value of working with those communities to identify assets as well as challenges, and then translating those findings back into important lessons learned for mainstream institutions.
What I think is unique about CAQP is the special team that we have here. I came here as a student, I didn't know anyone, didn't know the leadership.
Even though I already had another graduate employee position secured, I decided to apply here because these align much better with what I want to do. I just applied and I got the job, and I was the happiest person in the world that day. It's kind of like a glass of water in the desert. I feel very fortunate to be here.
The Center for Equity Promotion has provided me an opportunity to grow professionally, acquire skills that I wouldn't have garnered anywhere else. Learning how to work as a team, collaborate, be accountable to your team members, which is really one of the strengths of the Center for Equity Promotion, is our team.
If we are to act in ways that are equitable, we have to be deeply committed to listening, to responding, to reflecting and self-reflecting on our investments, on our biases, on our expectations, on our strengths.
I feel like as graduate employee we are really valued. I have the opportunity to work in really big projects where my say counts, and I feel responsible, and that makes me want to bring the best of me and my work.
There's a desire to contribute in a meaningful way to the work that we do as a team. We don't operate on a hierarchy. Everyone here has complete buy-in. We really survive because we are accountable to one another.
So it's really nice to have people that understand where you're coming from. When I think of CAQP, a word that comes to mind is team. I really like working here at the center because everyone knows each other, everyone cares. It feels like a family.
If I can describe what I've been learning in the center in one word, that word will be familismo. Familia, familismo is so valuable because we support each other. because I feel here like a home, respected, valuable. I can work with the community that I like and I love. I'm extremely lucky to work here.
I think that word would be assets. Instead of focusing on where a specific community may have shortcomings or be struggling, we try to acknowledge the strengths that they may have and utilize those to actualize positive change.
It would be empathy and realizing that this world just needs a lot more of it.
I think I need 2 words. I think it's collaboration and trust. I receive the support that I need to in order to be successful.
I learn every day from our amazing team about what equity means to them. It's an approach not just to research and to research to practice. It truly fundamentally is an approach to relationships. And then to continually learn and adapt and build so that the end result is greater voice, greater representation, and a direction forward that is novel and needed.